All right, we are back at it, the triple threat, the Coin Vault crew. What's going on, guys? Max Rue and Big Rob Future in the house. What's going on, guys? How you feeling tonight?
Go ahead, Ro.
Feeling
Chilling,
blessed?
man. It's a wonderful day in Scottsdale, over 70 degrees. How I like it. I love the heat. It's a good day.
Don't say always sunny, always Scottsdale. Don't do it.
Shout out to Charles Hoskin.
Max, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. It is a nice day, and glad to be here with everybody. Obviously, hopefully, let me know, guys, in the comments. Last week, it seems though my microphone was a little quiet compared to everybody else. So just let us know if we're nice, loud, and clear, where you don't have to turn up one guy and one guy down and so on. We're hopefully pretty level, but so glad to be here with each and every one of you guys. We're gonna get into a decent amount to unpack. And anyway, to answer your question, I feel great. There used to be that commercial on TV. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. The guy's like, I'm 88 and I feel great.
Yes, yeah, I remember that one. I
Yeah,
remember that one.
that was like 20 years ago. So I'm like,
For
I doubt he's
real?
108 and
Wow.
feels great.
Damn, that makes me feel old, bro.
Yeah, we are. We're,
Well, everybody says you sound good, man.
all right, sounds good.
I'm
Yes.
ready for another 10 point, 20 rebound night.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
had I shared a GIF over on my Patreon today, and it was just the picture of the girl with the burning house, and she's looking at the camera, smiling over her left shoulder, kind of like and it said X amount of money, something like I don't know, X amount of money liquidated from the market today, and then it showed the girl, and it was like Canton holders. I was like, nice. So very, very bullish. Every day it seems like I get more and more bullish on Canton for sure. I have a little clip I want to play, but I wanted to get some banter in first in regards to what's going on out there in the market, guys. Do you mind if I show a little something on the Bitcoin chart before we dive into it? Because I feel like I've kind of identified something that I've been waiting for a while.
Ooh, spill the
Yeah,
tea.
by all
Spill the
means,
tea.
please do. Please do. Go for it.
All right, so looking at the Bitcoin chart here, kind of sloppy as it is, if we zoom out, right? Obviously, let me just let me zoom out a bit here. So I had pointed out this bear flag back here a while ago, and we put in our targets for the downside. We hit our targets for the downside, and here we are. We're forming another bear flag that I think some people are missing out on. Now, again, the charting crypto is about probabilities, not about certainties, right? So I have highlighted a few times the possibility of a move to the upside to fill the CME gap between 83 and 84K, maybe rejecting off 85 before coming back down into this target here, this little red uh, golden pocket, whatever, is my bottom bear market scenario between 50 and 55K, right? I've been waiting for that for a little while now. Well, I mean, the breakdown of this next bear flag is going to bring us right into that golden pocket. And this is where personally I'm going to become far more aggressive in my buying strategies. And it could come within the next few weeks. But again, a lot of people are expecting that relief rally up to about 85K to fill the CME gap. Does that CME gap have to fill now, though? No, it doesn't. Sometimes CME gaps go unfilled to the upside for months, even a couple of years at a time. So keep that in mind, guys, right? This CME gap might not fill between 83 and 84K until we work our way back up after a year or so of dropping and accumulation, right? Remember, once we come down to this golden pocket area, this bottom area range, we're probably going to spend most of 2026 in that range. I think we start working our way out of it in the near the end of the first quarter of 2027. So about 12 months from now, I think we're going to have a leg down, and then the rest of this year to accumulate. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm full of it or what?
I don't think you're full of it. You've been pretty good with charts, especially when it comes to our trading groups. You've done well. I've gotten some good feedback about that. But there's been a lot of talk about these prediction markets, and one of the things I wanted to talk about at some point is to bring you guys' attention to some of the recent news that even came out from like CoinDesk, a few other outlets about the CFTC chair highlighting wide crypto agenda. These rules include DeFi prediction markets. So I think at some point we'll get into that.
And to answer your question, Rob, if you're talking about the whole like kind of domino theory and the way that Jake Claver talks about it, like Tether has to kind of die for XRP to succeed, then maybe that means that Bitcoin goes down with Tether. It goes down, but not, completely goes to zero in the whole Dan Pena, like, disaster nuke area. You know what I mean? But the way oil's looking right now, where oil's going back up to like $90, $96, $97. Shout out to the Roo Crew. Shout out to the Patreon. We did an oil long, and it's looking really, really good right now. Definitely check out all 3 Patreons, guys, for sure. But again, if the domino theory hits, the whole thing with oil has hit just like Jake said it would. Do we get a crash in Tether? And with that, a crash in Bitcoin down to 51, 55 area? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to be nimble and light on my feet and maybe expect if that happens.
Oh, you're muted, Rob.
Sorry, yeah, I just wanted to address a couple of people in the chat before we keep going here. Quantum says Zebek gets hundreds of partnerships every week. Yes, they have just been going nonstop in a bear market, and that's what you want to see for projects who are going to excel. Another honorable mention would also be Tau. They have been people have just been trading oil over there like crazy, so they're going nuts. Like they were at $173 like 2 days ago. They're at 225 now. So they've had a really, really nice run over the last like 4 or 5 days. Absolutely. Moto says you are all great. Thank you so much. Crypto's going to go sideways all summer. It's good for, yes, absolutely. Yeah, Quantum, when I said I'll be aggressive in my accumulation, what I meant is that I'll be more aggressive than I am right now. I am accumulating right now at these prices, but not super aggressive. And when we see that next leg down, that's where I'll really start to become a serious, accumulator. So.
And as far as crypto going sideways all summer, I don't know about that if we get clarity. And I think I have some news on this. It might kind of correspond or overlap with Max's news. But if we get clarity, there might be a chance that we go up, but then maybe we get the whole sell in May, walk away type of deal, and we go back up again in August. But we shall see.
Shout out to Underdog Research. Make sure you guys shoot him a sub. The man,
Good
the
to
legend.
see you, Underdog. Been a long time. Good to see you, man.
Shout out, brother. Good to have you.
Hell yeah. Selmo Fudd says, soon $200 a barrel. Let's go.
Good to see you, Selmo.
People are going to start filling up their gas tanks and everything really soon here as panic starts to set in. I agree. Quantum says, I've been studying Bitcoin since 2009. I've owned it and made a buttload of money off of it. Take your time. Buy what you can for the summer. You'll be happy by I agree. I agree with you. We seem to be right there, Quantum. We seem to be right there. Simon did say once upon a time in a space is that ZBEC is designed to survive. Yes. And he wasn't lying. I mean, like they've been doing nothing but partnerships, collaborations. I mean, I'm jack stacked and fanny packed about XRP Las Vegas, where we're going to see some announcements from Zebek there as well from Simon. So I'm pretty jacked up about that, man.
Yeah, that's a great statement, especially from Simon Balakani.
Yeah. He also said that to expect a couple more partnership announcements in different avenues with Canton as well. So I'm excited to hear what that's going to have. Here's the thing, like a lot of people, Simon says things on the spaces, and like for some reason people say, oh, that's not true, that's not true. He has not said anything yet that hasn't come to fruition. He hasn't.
Yep.
He's never once said something and then it just didn't happen, right? Like he said, expect some sort of collaboration or partnership with Ripple. It hasn't happened yet, but he also just said that they got some major announcements that they're releasing at XRP Las Vegas. And what better place to announce some sort of a collaboration with Ripple than at XRP Las Vegas, where Brad can literally take the stage with him, right?
I just came up with an idea for you, not a YouTube short, but a short that would only appear on X. Okay, so you and I, we all three talk about shorts. We won't spill the beans on that, but here's my idea, because you just triggered a memory. You said Simon Says, right? So we're talking about Simon Babakani. Shout out to all you hip hop guys, especially Samo Fudd and some of you other guys in the community. I'm literally thinking Pharaoh Monch, boom, 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 get the up. Simon Says, get the, and so like you show a green candle and then ZBCN, it's like get the, and then like the market spikes or something, and then it goes there to Simon saying something, right? What you just said. So it'll be like Simon Says. That'd be great.
That would be sweet. That would be a sweet short.
That would be an awesome short.
Jetpack in the house, man. My guy, shout out to Underdog. He's been killing it with the Plume network info. Yes, Plume. Plume has been a gem. We dropped Plume over on the Patreon about a year and a half ago when it first launched. Absolute gem. It's going to be huge. Dreams in the house. Clarity is seeming further and further away. Yeah, I have my theories about the Clarity Act. I talked about it on the Patreon Live today in great detail. I think I wouldn't be shocked to see it pushed back so far, and I think it goes in tandem with what the banks are trying to do right now. Like we've talked about this before, the three of us guys, how we think that the banks, or I think that the banks are trying to get this whole yield thing done and out of the way, kind of win that battle, so to speak, or settle it. And then they're going to move right back into custody, right? They're going to battle for them being able to custody crypto. And I think once that battle is won, that's when you'll start to see the Democrats start to back getting the Clarity Act done and getting all of this stuff in place. When the banks are best positioned for financial gain, that's when you'll see your Maxine Waters and your Elizabeth Warrens and all that stuff will say, oh yeah, let's give it the government's red stamp of approval now, right? Because then what's going to happen? Banks are going to start marketing to the average retail investor who doesn't have any interest or know anything about crypto at all. And so their banks are going to start, like they do, right? They're financial advisors at banks. They contact through email or whatever. Hey, come on in and we'll set you up with a mutual fund of crypto, right? A basket of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana and XRP, and we'll custody it for you for a fee. And that's how it's going to be, right? And that's when the real retail money is really going to start coming into the space. When the banks are telling them you can trust it.
And that's when the big bucks come in.
Yeah.
I wish I had my clips. Oh, man.
All right. What else do we got? Sublime in the house.
Good to see you, Dina. Thanks for being here. Sublimes. Boom.
I'm just trying to skip through to see if I see any questions that we can answer before we kind of get into it. I've been telling Rue to host y'all own get together in Las Vegas. Yeah, Rue, you gotta listen to Paul, brother. Gotta listen to Paul, man. Will you be rocking a ZBEC fanny pack to XRP Vegas? Not a bad idea. You know what? I might try to get one done. I'll try to get 3 of them made so we can be jack stacked and fanny packed at the ZBEC XRP Las Vegas. Let's go.
JSK, what up, brother?
Maybe there'll be a tiger in the bathroom. I don't know. Shout out to The Hangover.
Yeah, great film, especially the first one.
Max, that Lose Yourself remix that was in your intro. There you go, man. We were just talking about people love your intros, brother.
Well, thanks. Believe it or not, earlier this morning came out with a brand new one. It's a quick clip. Won't get hit with the copyright. Should we give everyone a little taste of everything?
Give him a taste. Give him a taste of that thunder.
All right. I already played this for Rue in my car as I was dodging speed bumps in a parking lot.
Give him so many rights. He'll be begging for the left. Let's go.
This bro dodged every speed bump, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've never seen someone with a vehement hate for speed bumps like
I
that.
can't stand them. Speed bumps need to die. All right. So, anyway, yes, it was not a good thing to say the least. So, anyway, hold on a second. Let me pull this up for you guys.
All
right.
Where's fighting the streets?
Where in the world did this thing go? Oh, I know where it went. I know what folder it went. Hold on. I got it right here for you guys. There it is. Here we go. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Shout out to the late, great DMX and James Brown. This is XRP, XLM, XDC. Gon' give it to you. 1971 style. Yes, it's a little edited, so bear with me, but I think you're going to like it. And here we go. Smash that like.
Shout out to your boy. He says, I'm just going to leave this here. Get on my level, weirdos. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, first super chat of the stream. Wow, thank you so much, you boy. Thanks for getting us going here, man. Always got our back. Good to see you, man. When is the Vegas event? April 26th to the 29th, I want to say. That's the Bitcoin event, and then the 30th to the 1st is XRPL. So we're going to both events. Well, I am. You guys are coming, right? I still haven't gotten full clarity on that from you guys.
I have to see if I can come, or pause. I have to see if I can go. I have to see if I can go. All right. Okay.
Pause
No,
the
I had to
thing.
clean that up. I have to see if I can go. All right.
Pause.
Yeah, because yeah. Well, pause is like when you say something a little bit questionable that could be taken in another way, right? And I said, I have to see if I can come. So I had to clear that up and say, I have to see if I can go. But yeah, exactly, right? But yeah, I'll have to see if I can go because, I just started some new stuff. So I don't know how that's going to work out if
This one's for you, Rue.
Yo, what's up, Rue? I've been doing a lot of research. Another top performance for ROI is going to be Velo. Okay, if you plan on traveling to Asia, you can use their Super Orbit app, similar to zbcn Super app. Velo is another one of those guys that is connected to the Buildell Fund. Shout out to Underdog Research Channel. He came on my channel and we talked about Swift blockchain, and Velo was one of the ones that came up when we were talking about all the different coins connected to BlackRock's builds or Buildell. So shout out to Velo, shout out to Underdog Research Channel.
Yeah.
And shout out to Elon Musk. Thanks for the $2 super sticker. I do appreciate it. You also want to give more than enough thanks to you, Mike, for a lot of the stuff you dropped today. So thank you for that. Some of it is included on this show. I just want to give a quick shout out to some of the guys in the Maximus Crypto comments. Brock, obviously Elon Musk, Selmo Flood. Always good to see the OGs up in the space. Sublimes, Dina, thanks for being here. And Court and Spark, yeah, no problem. Glad to see some of you guys' comments. Thanks for obviously enjoying some of those intros that we had in some of the videos. That was great. And XXI Gaming, OG in the space, Brandon, always good to see you, Brandon. Thanks so much for being here.
You do realize Canton and H bar will be much higher too when Zebek hits 5 cents. So how much do you think you're really going to get at that price compared to Canton's price right now? I'm not really understanding the question. I need you to expand on that a little bit, HTTR. I'm not getting it. Do one of you guys quite understand what's being asked here?
I think he's saying like the sense Zebek is at such a low right now, it might be the better buy. So when it reaches 5 cents, it's probably going to be a better buy in comparison to Canton and H bar. That's what I took from it.
Yeah,
but based off a market cap perspective, I can respect that.
But here's the thing you got to be careful of, guys. And, I try to warn about this is because I do get this question often, right? When building a portfolio, especially at the bottom of a bear market, like we're close to right now, we're in a range anyway. A question I get asked all the time, for example, I'll say Chainlink or Quant or Tau. People will say, well, why would you add that? Why wouldn't you add something with better ROI, right? Better potential ROI. And here's the reason for that, guys, is because there are no guarantees when it comes to ROI. It's all just potential ROI, right? You cannot, well, you can. I personally don't advise that you just fill your portfolio at the bottom of a bear market with small cap, high risk projects, right? It sounds good on paper when you do the math on it and say, well, I could walk away with this. My opinion is, not financial advice, you need to build a portfolio with a strong foundation of blue chips and stuff, whether your base is going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana. And you need, in my opinion, to build around it with blue chips first, your XRPs, your XLMs, your Chainlinks, your Quants, your TAUs, your SUIs, your, stuff like that, your Ethereum, I said Ethereum already, your H bars, your Cantons, right? Canton's like in the top 14 now in terms of market cap, right? I think that qualifies as a blue chip now. So you have to build a foundation first, whatever. And I'm not saying that all those projects, but whichever ones you like, you should have a strong foundation first of safer projects. I know that's a relative word in crypto, but safer projects to build your foundation. And then you can start to be more and more of a degen as you build out your portfolio. But I would never recommend just going all in on tiny cap, high risk, high reward plays, because the probabilities go down lower and lower and lower, right? So
It's funny you mentioned that, Rob. I just got through recording something for the Patreon. Kind of three things I wish I knew as a beginning investor, and that's one of them. Like, as a beginning investor, you always try to hit these home runs, and instead you should go for the blue chips. Like, it's right in front of you. Like, especially right now, and it's a downtime in the market. Bitcoin's at a low. It might go a little bit lower, but it's not 120, right? It's 70, right? Now would be perfect time if you're a newbie to kind of get into a blue chip like Bitcoin or Ethereum. So, that's over on the Patreon. Shout out to the Patreon again.
plus, think about it this way: blue chips usually run first, right? So if you've got a nice portfolio with blue chips, you can take profits on them later and roll them into some of your profits into the smaller caps later, because they're going to run after the blue chips anyways, right? So
excellent point.
Simon and Brad are going to walk out holding each other's hands. Someone on an AI reel.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody could do that. Like maybe what's his name? The guy from Jasmine, right? That did you and Hara. that gunfight you guys had or whatever. That was hilarious.
Matrix battle, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if people are capable of that, then yes, that can happen.
They should make one of Jake Claver and Zach Rector holding hands.
Right, the resurrector your sector from Shaolin to Mecca, right? Anyway.
Yeah, Jetpack. I think that I was watching a video on this the other day, and they were talking about how AI, as it progresses, is going to start using AI agents are going to start making payments and stuff like that, right? And they're going to, what do you think they're going to use? They're not going to use banks. They're going to use crypto, right? So AI payments in crypto, so whether it's stablecoin, Bitcoin, like zbcn, XRP, whatever it is, right? So yeah.
Jetpack, if we could stay on that for a second. Jetpack, I made a video on this. Like, I really speculate that zbcn might be an X402 facilitator. And I said that in my video. Check out the video, zbcn and Say Secret Partnership. I really think that they might be a secret X402 facilitator. And in a video, which we can play it a little bit later, Simon Babakani said that eventually they will have AI agents on the super app. Now, this is in a talk he did with, I think it's Joel Valenzuela from Dash, and we can bring that up and play that a little bit later.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, fellas? Glad to see the team back. Absolutely. Coin Vault, guys. Make sure you're liking and subscribing Coin Vault. It is a channel that the three of us have made together. All of our content over there is the three of us. So, and it's exclusive content that you don't get on any other channel. So, something to think about, guys.
Yep, there it is. And we're off to a pretty decent start. People are tuning in to the videos. We have some other ones that are on the lineup. They're going to be coming out soon. But yeah, we're looking to do daily videos over there. That's exclusive, where it's myself, Rob, and Rue. Exclusive coverage on various things. It could be your XRPs, your zbcns, Cantons, Jasmine, you name it, Metallicus, XBR, right? All that stuff. So check it out. And yeah, thank you for the few people that are actually watching the live over there right now on CoinVault. Really do appreciate you guys. And if you're wondering what the channel is literally at CoinVault dash I9Y. But I'll go ahead and drop it in the comments for you guys. So
Yep.
check it out.
Little message from Underdog for Rue.
Oh, let me. Rue, say no Diddy quickly. That's right. No Diddy or pause, right? Out here. I love it. Shout out, brother.
Absolutely. All right, you guys got some stuff you want to dive into, or what? Who wants to go first?
Let that mofo go first.
I was literally going to say that. I was literally going to say that. So shout out to all you guys that seen 8 Mile and stuff like that, you know.
ZBCN man in the house. What's going
That's
on,
how you
brother?
know we've been hanging around too much, each other too much, bro.
Hey, ZBCN man, you're always welcome on Blockchain Buzz, buddy. Always welcome. Just shoot me a DM anytime, man.
Thanks for being here, ZBCM, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, we got a little bit to get into. So I just wanted to cover some of the headlines. Shout out to Elon Musk with being the sideline reporter, right? So if you guys want to be a sideline reporter of the coin vaults, or one or three of us or all of us, give us follows over on our X platforms. Rue Black can be followed at Black Rue. Crypto Future Rob can be followed over at Rob Mass. That's ROBMASS. Isn't that right?
ROBB.
ROBB. I almost had it right. Anyway, and then of course myself, I already have it on the bottom left because there it is. Anyway, so yes, you could be a sideline reporter, and the nice thing about it is you can maybe have your findings featured in the live show. So what we have here is important to share, and Rob is about to pull that up on the screen. It is from CoinDesk on this one. We see here basically CFTC chair highlights wide crypto agenda, including rules on DeFi prediction markets. Now, we're going to have a conversation about this, but I do want to share a little bit about this, okay? So you have to keep in mind Commodities Future Trading Commission, if you're not aware of what that stands for. If you're new, it's okay. Everybody's new at some point. Chief Michael Salig updated his progress on guidance for DeFi developers, crypto derivatives, and prediction markets. Rue has talked a lot about things like Polymarket. I even heard Shook Focus talk about some of the other alternative ones out there. But nonetheless, we do see here what happened. Okay, so as we see here, there was a pledge for these new guidelines for DeFi and prediction markets while calling the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. Well, it doesn't feel like it's the crypto capital of the world yet, right? The other thing I want to point out is not just so much of the turf battles, but I do want to point out this comment right here. Salig announced that the CFTC will issue guidance and has begun rulemaking on prediction markets, asserting the agency's authority or event contracts as they grow, into a major venue for trading on elections and real-world outcomes. Last part is the CFTC plans to clarify when DeFi software providers must register, update on rules for leverage and margin crypto spot trading, address the status of perpetual derivatives, and consider how to regulate AI-driven trading systems and digital markets. All right, there's a whole bunch more here. I don't want to get into all that. What I do want to do now is have a conversation about this with our panel. And I find it interesting, at the same time all this news comes out, I don't know if it was you, Rob, but one of you guys, maybe it was Elon Musk, I don't know, sent me out of nowhere, KuCoin all of a sudden is able to do something now with XRP again. And I remember how much I loved KuCoin back in the day. It was my favorite exchange. And now it seems as though if you're hearing hints of KuCoin, again, it's kind of like there's a push forward. Maybe we are getting a taste of clarity. We just don't know it. But anyway, want to get some of your thoughts on this. What do you guys think? Like, if we're seeing these things with the CFTC, it kind of makes you wonder, they're fast tracking this stuff. Why would they want to fast track this stuff? Because they need to get it done in 2026. That's just my own personal opinion.
Well, yeah. I think. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rob.
Okay, I'll go. I think that, like I said, they do want to get it passed, but I already touched on this a little bit earlier. I think that with the midterms coming and Democrats, coming, I don't want to make it a political thing. It's not left versus right or anything. It just is what it is. If it was the Republicans attacking crypto, that's what we would be talking about. So it's not about favoring Republicans over Democrats. These happen to be the people attacking crypto. Again, I think it all comes into alignment with the banks. We know Elizabeth Warren pushes the banks' agendas. They freaking literally write bills for her. And they're going to kind of stall things and drag their feet on these things until the banks are positioned. I think that's what it boils down to. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I'm hearing May now for the Clarity Act. I mean, we were hearing February and March. Now we're hearing May, right? And then what happens? When do things shut down for the running up to midterms? When does that start to shut down? You guys are American. I'm not too sure. Does it shut down in like June, or is that too late? Like when does Congress kind of shut down and then they start doing their election thing?
Well, elections in itself is basically November, right? So there's really no shutdown.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the lame duck period, lame duck would be technically, so it'd be the first week of November. Was it I don't know what is on this year, but let's say, for example, it's always the first, Tuesday? Let's just take a look at it. You asked the question.
Yeah, so, that's not what I mean. I mean, I know that there's no official shutdown, but it's where basically Congress stops focusing on passing bills and stuff and doing their job and starts focusing for the next few months on getting reelected or getting elected, right? Their focus shifts away from...
I get the question. All right. Yeah. Well, anyway, I was going to say, I mean, technically lame duck period would be, the Wednesday the 4th all the way to January 20th of the following year, 2027. That would technically be the lame duck. But I get the question you're asking now.
Yeah.
You want to touch on that, Rue? Go ahead, Rom. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I know that there's a period, and I think it starts soon. I think it starts before June, where Congress stops again focusing on their jobs and the bills and all this stuff, and everything kind of gets sidelined, and they start focusing on re-election and the midterms, and so if we hit that period before the Clarity Act is passed, I wouldn't be shocked if the Clarity Act didn't pass until 2027.
Well, to be fair, I think it also depends on like what areas, right? If you have somebody who has a huge lead, right? Let's say like, it's a Republican, and this particular Republican has an 80% lead over so-and-so. They're still going to focus on their job. If it's a close run election, you know what I mean? Let's say it's such and such guy representing this district of, I don't know, I'm just going to throw it out there, Virginia, the 289th or something like that. And, it's a very close election. Yeah, that guy is totally going to focus on what you're talking about and so on. So, but as far as the overall majority, some people could say, yeah, there's a good amount doing that.
Well, we've seen how these politicians respond when they feel... I mean, look at Elizabeth Warren when John Deaton was running for Massachusetts, right? She focused on John Deaton. Holy smokes.
That is true, but to be fair, at the same time, she still smoked him, right? In the overall election. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Shout out to Chris. Thank you so much, brother. Guys, thank you so much, especially when times are, pressing like they are right now. We just want to thank everybody who comes in, supports the channels, sends the super chats, shows up, puts their questions in the comments, hits the like, hits the subscribe. It all adds up, and it's why we do what we do, right? I mean, it keeps us going, right? Keeps the lights on, and it keeps us going. So Chris asks, would you all consider Flare, XRP, Velo, Plume, Wormhole, and Zebek safe projects and goods mocks of mid, high, and low mix? I assume you mean of high and low caps. I think that I do like every single one of those projects. Now I'm gonna say except for Velo, but I'm not saying in the sense that I don't like Velo. I'm neutral on Velo. Everything else, I absolutely love Flare. I love XRP. I love Wormhole. I love Plume, and I love Zebek. I'm neutral on Velo. What do you guys think?
I actually agree with that 100%. I like Velo, but they still have some supply in which they could kind of dump a little bit more. And that's the only thing that gives me pause there. So yeah.
I'm pretty much spot on with Ruth's statements when it comes to Velo. I have nothing against Velo. I understand, everything that they're tied into. I consistently get this same complaint a lot on Maximus Crypto, and that is you cover Stronghold, but you don't cover Velo. What's wrong with you? I go back to what Ruth mentioned. I just have an issue with the supply, tokenomics, and so on. Could they turn that around? Yeah, they could absolutely turn that around. So, and those other projects that are spoken about, especially Flare. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, XRP speaks for itself. Plume, I don't hold Plume, but every time I see little glimpses of it, especially from like Underdog, or I think Rue, you cover it a little bit, or how about this? Even other people like Shook. I've seen a lot of people cover it, and it seems like there's a lot of potential there with that. Wormholes in a category of its own. Come on, Zebek. So would we all consider those and a good mix of mid and high low caps? Yeah, I think it just kind of goes back to what you said earlier when you addressed that with the priority over the blue chips, because um, those blue chips, even though it seems as though they're currently at higher market caps, again, when you get full scale clarity and adoption and so on, what do you think are going to happen? What do you think is going to happen to those established players? That's the bottom line for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
just
like.
want to
Go ahead.
oh, I just want to weigh in on the earlier question. I didn't get to weigh in on that. The CFTC like SEC question. If I could just share my screen right quick.
Right? What do? We just share stuff and then Rue doesn't have an opinion? That's not fair.
Yeah. I don't
You
know,
know,
Root. Can you share your screen real quick? I don't know.
Oh damn! Let me see
too bad.
here.
Too bad. Rue's not
Uh,
on his platform. He hit the soundboard for Greta Thunberg. Like,
I
how
know, like,
dare
how
you? Right?
dare you?
Uh,
Let's see. So right here, shout out to our bro ZBCN man. I was on their podcast, Zebek Nation. Definitely go check those guys out. One of the things he was saying here with the roadmap that Zebek showed, they have the white label products and they have XRP and Stellar above here, and they say white label products for ecosystems. And I just want to show you guys where he pulled that from. There's a back roadmap right here for the super app. And it seems like they're lining everything up to be done by April 1st. Now, everything that Brad Garlinghouse, everything that what's the other guy? So Brad Garlinghouse and
David
Brian
Schwartz.
Armstrong,
Oh, Brian Armstrong.
uh,
Coinbase.
yeah, Coinbase guy, said that we should get the Clarity Act by April, by the end of April. And the way that Zebek is lining things up, it seems like that's what's going to happen. Now, um, I don't know if you guys have been kind of aware of what's going on with the whole thing with X Money and William Shatner. I did a show on that on my channel as well, and we gave some extra information to the Patreon people. Shout out to the Patreon again. But William Shatner and the whole X Money thing, it's kind of very strange that that came out right now, like a month or two before we possibly get clarity that Shatner's pushing X Money. There are a whole bunch of XRP connections. Definitely check out the live stream I did on that. Definitely come over to the Patreon. But with that, long story short, there, Cross River Bank is kind of the bank du jour for X Money. That's the bank of XRP, right? And then we got the XRP conference, like Rob mentioned, coming up on April 30th, May 1st. So everything seems to be quite aligning for the Clarity Act to come out and be a game changer for the market. So I think what we see here with the kind of CFTC and the SEC aligning makes it even clearer or clears the path even more for the Clarity Act to be passed by the end of April.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I hope so. I hope so. But all I'm saying is I wouldn't be shocked if it's not passed by the time Congress starts, doing the whole election thing for midterms. Then it's probably not happening until 2027, which, to be honest with you, I personally would prefer, right? I don't want anything bullish pumping these markets until I've filled my bags at these rock bottom prices first. That's just me being selfish, right? So
I feel you. I feel you.
I don't want to do nobody dirty. I'm just saying, like, I want to accumulate, man. So yeah. Hopefully that answered your question, Max.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys' takes. What we want to do now, if you guys are cool with it, is to jump into another couple new announcements. So again, hopefully you guys appreciate it. Please smash the like. If you feel as though we have to earn it, then it is what it is, right? What we're gonna do now is pull this up. I also want to get some thoughts from not just our panel, but you guys in the comments on this as well. This is from bankless.com. And in it, it says BlackRock launches staked ETH ETF. Trading began, actually not today. It was actually, I guess it was today. I thought it was on the 10th. But anyway, it is today. Much anticipated staked ETH goes live on NASDAQ, basically combining spot ETH exposure with staking rewards in a single fund. Now, this area is where I want to jump down to. It says here, what's the scoop? It says ETHB, as in ETH BlackRock, will hold spot Ether and stake a portion of those holdings. It is BlackRock's third crypto ETF after iShares. Everybody's already covered that numerous times, right? Bitcoin Trust and iShares Ethereum Trust. There's a fee structure. The fund carries a 0.25% sponsor fee, temporarily discounting to 0.12%. On the first 2.5 billion in assets during the first year. There's an existing scale where IBIT currently manages over 55 billion in assets, and ETH holds about 6.5 billion. BlackRock oversees roughly 130 billion across crypto-related exchange-traded products. Yeah, no kidding. Tokenized liquidity funds and stablecoin reserve management. iShares captured approximately 95% of flows into the digital asset ETPs in 2025. Now, this part I do want to read as well. The bankless take, listen to this. Ethereum has long pitched itself as a yield-bearing asset, whether people like that or not, and rightfully so. Crypto natives understand this, and despite price volatility, have been able to rely on the steady stream of earnings ETH provides. This pitch has also seemed to resonate with Wall Street. Yeah, no kidding. As we saw with DATS, institutional actors who wanted to have the familiarity of an ETF wrapper were forced to forego this value prop with the first wave of spot ETH ETFs that were launched. This led to fundamental disconnect. Further, it has also turned off crypto natives further to the idea of holding ETFs. That all changes today. So when I see these comments, let's come back into the screen on this one. When I see this, I know it sounds nuts. I think a guy is obviously like Tom Lee, right? Because again, he's got some crazy price predictions, super insane. But to have an ability, especially with BlackRock, to, I guess, lock up ETH and stake it from the institutional side, would others come follow suit? Would it become a trend? Hard to say, but the evidence is right there. For me, I think you will start seeing some things. I'm not willing to sell the whole farm on the whole idea. I'm also not willing to trust, obviously, conglomerates like BlackRock. They're capable of anything. But what do you guys think in regard to this?
I just want some clarity here. So, with it being staked, are they passing? Yeah, there we go. Pun intended. Are they passing the staking rewards on to the investors?
From what I see here, well, from what I see here, for the institutional investors. So it's not really saying retail investors. And then how much is required to lock up to get these yields? And I go back to the whole thing again of the deliberation between Brian Armstrong and many other people, right? So from the retail side, it's just more examples of how we're screwed. But when you look at it from the institutional side, it seems very lucrative, does it not? And as people say, this is not fair. So,
well, I know that around the world, and this is one of the things that I said like many moons ago, like many months ago, maybe even a year ago, to viewers, that there were already staked ETFs and ETPs around the world before America had one. So, um, again, when you know that these are assets like gold and silver that all of these big VC firms around the world are holding and staking and getting passive income from, well, then now that really makes it something, okay, that's a valuable asset I want to hold. Like, shout out to my bro over there, Crypto Future, where he's like, I put my pennies where the millionaires put their dollars, right? So, hey, that's what we're doing. But now when I think about this, right, how many people can afford to even have one Ethereum, right? Maybe someone can get some staking rewards for just owning a portion of this ETF. So maybe this could be helpful for someone that has like a Roth IRA or someone that does stock investing, that they can get some passive income where they can't afford like one full or two full of Ethereum. Like how much, you know what I mean? Like how much is that going to give you really?
Yeah, exactly. It's like having $4,000 in the bank and getting, even 1% interest on it. I mean, what is that really for the small investor? What is that really going to do for you, right? You can't even get a tank of gas in a year.
Right.
yeah, my intro this morning, I cited Grant Cardone, and he said, technically speaking, the greatest tax is inflation. That's the greatest tax. And you go back to the whole thing that you just talked about, Rob, about only earning 1%, on an inflationary money printing bunch of nonsense. What do you really have? You don't have really anything. It's actually costing you more money. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize that even having just a basic savings account is it's not worth it anymore. And it hasn't been for a long time. I haven't had a savings account, I would say, since 2021.
Well, here's my question. If the U.S. and banks, if the banks win this whole thing with yield, whether it's with stable coins or even on crypto, Ethereum, Solana, whatever the case might be, right? In the U.S., we know that there's a growing list of crypto-friendly countries out there that are ready, willing, and already are outdoing the U.S. in what they're willing to offer. A lot of them are tax-free for crypto and stuff like that. Is the U.S. willing to meet that standard, right? Same thing when it comes to yield. So what's going to stop smart money or the average retail investor, dumb money, so to speak, from saying, okay, fine, you don't want me to gain yield in the U.S., I'm going to stake my stuff overseas with an exchange over in Dubai or El Salvador or something like that instead, right? Grab me a VPN and away I go. What's going to stop people from doing that? I mean, it's easy for smart money to move their money overseas like that. What's the U.S. going to do about it, right? That's the whole point of crypto, is that it's global. It's not run by one country. It cannot be run by one country. So what are you going to do about it? If you're not going to offer yield on staking, whether it's stablecoin or Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, ETFs, whatever, like you already said, hey, guess what? Canada, there's even an XRP ETF, Solana ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs overseas. There's spot ETFs all over the place. All over the place.
To answer your question, I feel as though, and I do agree with Smoke on this one, that the prices of cryptocurrencies, you said, what are you going to do about it? The prices of cryptocurrencies will literally be set in the derivatives market. And I didn't just say it. There's an actual person who mentioned this, and I want to share this. This is a great clip. Let's talk about this as well. This just came out March 2nd. So back to what you just asked, right? We have here, in case you missed it, the prices of cryptocurrencies. These aren't Maximus Crypto's words. the prices of cryptocurrencies will be set in the derivatives market. Now, if you guys already know about derivatives market, like Mike C, Elon Musk, some of you guys know that the derivatives market is the biggest whopper of them all. This is 55 seconds. Listen closely to this, and then we'll have some more. And I have a brand new update just came out. Huge news that the U.S. Senate passed a bill that includes a CBDC issuance ban on the Federal Reserve until 2030. So some great, insightful conversations we'll get into here in just a bit. Listen closely to this. If you missed everything else, don't miss this. This is good. Here we go.
As I explained to your audience today, I see crypto as much more than just a new asset class, but really a new architecture of finance, a new way of establishing who owns what and who's transferring what to whom, using the internet as the basis for establishment of that value, as opposed to the individual balance sheets of proprietary institutions. It's a new architecture, a new protocol for establishing value. In any commodity market, the price of the underlying commodity is actually not set in the physical or the spot market. The price is set in the derivative markets. Mature derivative markets are essential for price discovery because it's the one place that all the buyers and sellers can come together to agree on price. That's why the price of gold is not set in a jewelry shop. It's set in the derivatives market. The price of wheat is not set at a grain elevator. It's set in the derivative markets. The price of oil is not set at the gas pump. It's set in the derivative markets. So establishing well-functioning, healthy derivatives for crypto will provide a solid basis for price discovery and price setting for crypto.
So think about what he just mentioned there. And then on top of that, the thing I want to share with you guys is I'm going to pull up another thing before we jump back to our panel. Let's just share this. This is really good. So we have here DTCC, which all three of us have talked a lot about this, all right? DTCC, just in case you're just tuning in, processes quadrillions in derivatives, all right? Not billions or trillions, quadrillions in derivatives. XRP contains exactly 100 quadrillion drops. To me, I featured this recently, I think in this morning's video. To me, this is more than coincidence, okay? This matches that scale precisely. That's the piece of the puzzle. The XRPL was built to handle it, and what is he citing here? He's literally citing the DTCC. Let's blow this up, just in case you want the citation. Boom, right there, DTCC at a glance. And again, they've been around for about over 45 years. They literally handle, listen to this, guys, more than 2 quadrillion in securities each year in those transactions. And boom, right there, 2.3 quadrillion total value of securities processed. At least that was in 2020. If anything, it's been a lot more since then. We'll have to get another report. But to jump down, I want to share this other key page. We see here, I'll leave it up right there. That should be big enough, right? As mentioned previously, XRP is a debt-based currency. So again, think about on-demand liquidity. So many people that think they know about XRP, they don't know jack diddly squat. They haven't studied on-demand liquidity. That's the main key highlight for Ripple with XRP. So XRP's debt-based currency does not consume transactions like Bitcoin's UTXO model. A finite amount of XRP currently exists within the network, and it will never be produced again. 100 billion XRP was released initially when the XRP ledger was created, and the currency is subdivisible up to 6 decimal points, totaling up to total of 100 quadrillion drops of XRP. So we'll come back in the frame on this one. The way I look at it, guys, is, again, even on exchanges, for like you, me, and everybody else, like your Upholds, et cetera, there's only about 2.5, maybe 3 billion, anywhere from 2.5 to 3 billion left on exchanges. So it's a combination of supply shock. But again, going back to what we were mentioning, Rob, you literally asked. To me, that is the answer. Derivatives market will set that price.
Fair enough, Rue. You got something to say on that? I'm looking up the supply shock statistics right now to kind of enforce what Max was saying.
Nothing at the moment.
Well, aren't you helpful? All right, then.
Right? I wish I had a soundboard of Lieutenant Dan Taylor. He's just like, well, that's just perfect. They gave you a crypto platform. They gave you the coin vault. They gave you Rob Crypto Future, Maximus Crypto. You went on public national television and made a whole damn fool of yourself. Okay.
Well, you know what? Since the pressure's on, damn it, I do have something to say. How about
there you
that?
Go. How about
there you go. Rue going to deliver to you.
Right. If you share the screen here, just want to point out someone to you guys. Let me know when it's shared.
It's shared.
Yep.
Okay, so this is JV. He's a growing member over at Zebek. He does their marketing, right? Now, one thing I just want to point out,
I
like he
love this. This
follows.
is actually, I love it when you do this, by the way. You're the one of the few guys who follows who they follow. And I think this is great that you do this because you always find the little needle in the haystack. But go ahead.
So he follows Canton, but another thing here, he follows the DTCC. So it'll be quite interesting to note if Zebek has some news coming up with the DTCC. So very interesting. Last Spaces, which I think Rob did something on. Simon Babakani told us, well, this is only the beginning of our partnership with Canton. Quite possible that Zebek will have something going on here with the DTCC. Maybe we even hear about it at the XRP conference. But you can see here a lot of the other partners he follows, like Lattice, Canton, and just one other thing to note, because the Triple Threat covered this as well. We covered USAT and Zebek. Well, guess what? He follows USAT too. And if you're not familiar with USAT, this is regulated tether. Okay. And one of the things that we covered with this is that Swift blockchain has regulated tether on it. Now, Swift blockchain, it's in China, it's in Russia. What if, like Jake Claver says, the domino theory, unregulated tether falls? Hey, they have Swift blockchain in these countries. They could just move their stuff over to regulated tether. And it only hurts, you know what I mean? It only hurts specific people. But again, like Rob was saying earlier, the super rich, they'll be fine. They'll just move it right over to regulated tether before it happens, and there it is. Or circle, right? Before it happens, and there it is.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. 100%. And like that's a whole thing too that I've gotten into so many times that I wouldn't mind talking about, is the whole, exchanges even operating in the US. But first I just wanted to show, this is the XRP, the current XRP, supply chart on Binance right now. There's only 2.7 billion tokens. That's it. 2.7 billion out of what, 100 billion, right?
Yeah, so it wasn't too far off.
Yeah, like that's crazy. That's crazy low, guys.
You want to know something? Shout out to the late great Will Fix. He called this. He literally called this a year ago when he was alive. He said in some of our last deep dives, he says supply shock is imminent. And at the time, he said that there was only about anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 billion XRP that would be left on exchanges for you, me, and retail to purchase. Fast forward to literally right now, almost a year later, and what do we have? Bingo. He literally called it. The guy was spot on. Spot on.
Literally between 2 and 3, and he just nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
2.7. Wow.
Yeah, he called that. Go back to those videos if anybody's curious. Go watch them. He was spot on.
And guess what, guys? If BlackRock comes out, now they just came out with one for Ethereum. They've seemed to held off on XRP. But when it happens that they have their XRP ETF, oh man, then it's going to get really, really slim out here.
Yeah, they said, a lot of people got, confused that when they said, like, well, we're not, applying for a spot XRP ETF. He said at the moment, but people leave that part out because it doesn't fit the narrative that for the fudsters out there, right? When the time is right, they will file for a spot XRP ETF. No doubt.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, just in case we forgot, let's have a reminder, because what did we just see? So again, this is a different domino theory. Hear me out. Let's share this real quick just for people just tuning in. So the dominoes are literally following right before our eyes, because today BlackRock launched that staked ETH ETF. Trading begins today. A lot of, again, institutional exposure to An ETH ETF, again, it goes live on NASDAQ, combining spot ETH exposures with staking rewards in a single fund. So again, when Rob just has mentioned to you guys, let's come back in the frame on this one, where basically it's like eventually there'd be XRP one. Absolutely. And do you guys remember this? Was it last year or was it a little bit later? Maybe it was late 2024. You have Larry Fink of BlackRock. What was he on? Fox Business or CNBC, one of those platforms. And he's literally asked, the guy's trying to get something out of him. He's like, well, what about XRP? And he's just like, he wouldn't say yes, he wouldn't say no. Well, then that's basically a yes. So it is like the dominoes are falling. Is it not, Rue? You literally mentioned that earlier, quoting Jay Claver.
Yep. And and I really think if the BlackRock ETF comes, and I think it's like one other person besides BlackRock, it might be Fidelity. Like the major two players have not gotten an XRP ETF yet. So if they get theirs, that's when it's gonna get very, very, very slim. And Jake Claver has talked about this too with his domino theory.
And this is across the board. I want to throw this out there real quick for everybody. This is so across the board when it comes to like who gets taken care of first. We as in retail, we never get taken care of first. You ever notice how some of this stuff works? Even when we look into Bitcoin, when it came out right after the white paper release, it seems as though that in itself was like a beta for like what you see with Ripple and Stellar and all these other ones, you know, the altcoin use case. It's like we as in retail were the beta. And where I'm going with this is basically it's like the institutions, they're going to have their say first, right? It's never going to be retail. Even with Quant Network, and even what was it for the digital euro, a retail CBDC won't even be coming out until about roughly 2027, 2028. Why? Because from the wholesale CBDC, they want to take care of themselves first, the big institutions, et cetera, et cetera. The last talking point I just want to jump into real quick is this announcement. Speaking of CBDCs, I don't know if you guys even seen this, but we need to share this. We should talk about it. We had this piece from Cointelegraph. Cointelegraph reported 9 hours ago that the U.S. Senate passed a bill that includes a CBDC issuance ban on the Federal Reserve until 2030. You're more than welcome to take your own deep dive into that if you want. But here's where I find this interesting. Shout out to our brother Smoke. He did call us. I remember him calling it. He called this on February 28th. He says, yes, there will eventually be a U.S. CBDC. Boom, called it. Shout out to Will Fix up in heaven. Shout out to Smoke here, because he did call it. The United States is playing a double game. It is delaying its own CBDC to avoid weakening the dollar while sabotaging competing projects like the digital yuan and euro via pressure on SWIFT and support for private stablecoins. I'll pull this up. This is good. Let's go ahead and full screen this a little bit too. Shrink it down just a tad. All right, so here we have where it says right in the highlights, United States is playing a double game, delaying its own CBDC. Again, the pressure on this, the part that's not highlighted, I want to read this. This creates a dilemma for the European Union. Either it accelerates the rollout of the digital euro to take advantage of the window of opportunity created by American inaction, or it submits to the rules of the game imposed by Washington and Beijing. Oh my gosh, think about what's going on right now. Right now, you still have the work. We've seen documentations. I've shared this 2-3 times over Maximus Crypto. You have Quant Network, you have Ripple and Hedera working on what? Digital euro. Seriously. And guess what also just dropped? I think it was 2 days ago. I just shared this in yesterday's video. Stellar is doing the digital euro stablecoin. Again, big difference between a stablecoin, that's a digital euro, and a flat out digital euro. So to me, this is a strategic geopolitical chess game literally happening right before our eyes. And again, the dominoes, I would agree, there's different dominoes. There's institutional dominoes that are falling right before our eyes. I want to get some of you guys' thoughts on this because this is some big news that just came out. Yes, I get it, guys. If you're just tuning in, you're like, Trump says there will never be a CBDC. I agree with Rob. Remember, Rob, you said it won't be a CBDC. It'll be disguised as what? A stable coin. So this is all adding up.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say that all the time. I say, look, They say, oh, there's a ban on CBDCs. That's because they're just going to smack a nice little label on it, calling it a stable coin, but it still does the same thing. They can still freeze your money. They can still claw back your money. They can still look inside and see what you have. All the things people were concerned about with CBDCs, they can do the exact same thing with a stable coin. So they're just putting a shiny new label on it so that people aren't scared of it, and they're just calling it a stable coin instead. And Drew, I know you got something to say about this, but I really, really strongly agree with this comment here, and I had to highlight it. It says, I don't care what anybody says about you, Rue. You're a great guy. I agree. All the thousands of people who talk smack about your brother, they're all wrong, okay? We love you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate
that's awesome.
that. No, yeah, with the yen, the digital yen, a lot of companies lately have been like Polygon, and I think others, maybe even Jasmine, with the digital yen. And it's funny that that's happening right now where the reverse carry trade might play out. So that's another thing that may put us closer to XRP taking off and maybe us getting out of this bear market before the end of summer.
I wish you would, if you don't mind, highlight this comment from Dave F. Jr. He says they changed the name of a CBDC. Guys, he's not pulling something out of thin air. I've shared this over on Maximus Crypto. I actually had an actual document. I believe it was cited from the BIS originally, where they originally didn't call it CBDCs. Okay. So this is a great catch, because in the document, it actually was called something. I don't exactly have the right name, but it wasn't originally called CBDC. It was called CB something another. But in it, instead of calling it central bank digital currency, it was like something like I think it was called CBCC to be exact. I think it was central bank cryptocurrency or something like that. It literally mentions cryptocurrency, right? Which was just like, whoa, you know? So he is right about that. So I'm glad that you're bringing that up. Nonetheless, I do want to highlight two community people, Elon Musk and also Francisco Dennis Little. Like I said, this is something that we've done on Maximus Crypto for years. Shout out to the Coin Vault. Give us a follow on the Coin Vault. We'll drop that channel again because we have exclusive videos. They're going to be coming out there. So check that out if you like us three. If you don't, then, well, it is what it is.
Subscribe anyway, even if you don't like it.
Well,
subscribe and tell us how much you don't like us.
Right, exactly.
Shout out to you, Max. I remember you talking about like many moons ago, years ago, Project Guardian and the Monetary Authority of Singapore, where they were working with, I believe, like the Fed of New York and XLR on like CBDCs, and they just openly called it CBDCs back then, right? Like I remember you talking about this years ago, and like
Bank of Boston, Project Hamilton, yep.
So really, and then they just, they just smoothed it over, and oh, here's Circle, and here's everything else, like after the fact.
Well, thanks. I do appreciate it. I did have some other people do that recognition, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I did call Oracle many years ago, and then we had a confirmation, Oracle and Quant, right? Many years ago, we had confirmation last year, and then the other one was Panasonic with Jasmine. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I mentioned that in the Patreon too, bro. That you called that Panasonic,
right? Thanks.
Years ago.
Yeah. I still shake my head when people say there's nothing there. I mean, I just don't even get in the petty talk. I agree with Smoke. Don't get in the petty talk. Anyway, listen, guys, be a sideline report. You could be a sideline report for Maximus Crypto, Rob, Rue, you name it, right? Let's jump into this. Mike C, aka Elon Musk, highlights this one, okay? And it says from Tim Warren, XRP on-chain update bullish. March 9th, shout out to the late, great Biggie Smalls, right? Unfortunately, he was killed on that date. Saw 738 million net outflow from exchanges, one of the largest year-to-date per CoinGlass. Over 7.03 billion XRP withdrawn from centralized exchanges in February 2026 alone, per CryptoQuant. Exchange supply is shrinking, and if anything, we'll leave it right there. Rob, I know you're good with the charts. I don't know if this is something you want to look into a little bit later on your own end. No pressure. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but interesting to see that from Mike C on that one. The other area I want to jump into is other sideline reporter. And we have this from basically the one and only FM Dennis 73, Francisco Dennis Lille. Global Layer 1, I covered this 3-4 times over on Maximus Crypto in connection to things like Quant. But I see that he has highlighted Forge. Now, recently, I'm going to show you guys some proof here. Stellar has highlighted some things in regard to Forge. And if anything, I'm going to pull that up just to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about here. Let's get that primed and ready. But again, this focus on Forge is great. Here's why. Societe Generale's Forge EUR convertible is now on Stellar. Retail users and businesses can now access transparent, scalable digital euro stablecoin. So not that Stellar does the digital euro. They do not. But they do the digital euro stablecoin. And the other reason why I point this out is because Societe Generale has key strategic partnership with Banque de France. And why is that important? Banque de France, everybody, is the oversight for who? The central bank of central bank, which is the Bank for International Settlements. Let's jump back to Francisco's posting. All right. I have shared this numerous times on Maximus Crypto. Check it out in the deep dives. Simply type in, I believe, Global Layer 1 or GL1, and you'll see what I'm talking about in regards to this. But the GL1 is a collaborative initiative between public and private sectors, like it says, for the development of an open, interoperable, shared ledger infrastructures hosting tokenized financial applications and assets. GL1 aims to facilitate seamless cross-border transactions and all this stuff, right? But the bottom line is the terminology, all right? The area I want to focus is what he's trying to focus on. Let's share this as well, where he points out this from the Global Layer 1. And again, the key players, Kinesis from JP Morgan, MUFG, and boom, Forge with Societe Generale. Do you find this interesting how it's all lined up there? I do not. Policymakers, Bank of England, Gilbert Verdon used to work for the Bank of England. And also, boom, I mentioned Banque de France, again, the oversight for who? The Bank for International Settlements. So all the biggest players are here. Don't be surprised if you see some more things from the Stellar side of things, which hardly anybody's talking about because, let's face it, Ripple with XRP gets all the attention, and I get it, but do not dismiss, obviously, Stellar. Rue, you always mention to not dismiss that, and I'll check out. Okay, I saw your message. Yeah.
Definitely don't sleep on Stellar. Yeah, I know we talk a lot about XRP, and we have in this stream, guys, but that by no stretch of the imagination means that we, all three of us, don't absolutely love and support XLM as well, for sure.
And on that note, like Stellar with their euro, it's interesting because at Cybos, Stellar met with Zebek, and we know they've been a long-time partner of Zebek. But Zebek also met with All Unity stablecoin and announced that too at Cybos. And that's supposed to unify the euro with that stablecoin as well. And I just wanted to show you guys one other thing. It kind of supports what Max was showing you with all the XRP kind of drying up on exchanges. If you can share my screen here. So here, March 10th, breaking a hyperliquid whale just opened a massive long pause, no diddy, with 20x leverage, entry 141, position size 1.01 million. And then if you go up here on February 26th, someone opened a massive $3.34 million long on XRP here just 20 days ago, and he got an even better price. I think 1.37. So all these longs getting opened up, all these XRP coming out of exchanges. Maybe we have something soon.
Very, very interesting. Presley here says XLM has no buzz to it, though. Well, here's the thing. I think that, for one, XLM wasn't really in the limelight for the last 5 years as much as XRP, probably because of the lawsuit. The lawsuit took a lot of the major headlines and front page news, and they also don't have your Brad Garlinghouse always, saying something, always being on TV talking. David Schwartz is there as well. He's always busy on his socials and stuff, speaking at conferences and crypto events and stuff like that. So that's probably why. That probably all contributes to it. But and I think that because of the court case, a lot of content creators covered XRP a lot more because it got clicks at the end of the day. And really, I mean, if you made an XRP video today and you made an XLM video today, the XRP video would probably get more views, right?
But honestly, I think that's intentional, that it has no buzz to it. Like, even before the XRP case was over, XLM was working with the CFTC, okay? XLM has no ETFs in America right now other than like a grayscale like trust. I think it's intentional that they keep XLM kind of underneath the sheets, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, I guess maybe you're right. Stellar is why Jeb McCaleb truly was what he truly envisioned. And that's probably why he went his own way, right? And yeah, I can see it. Elon Musk says, "Hey, Rule, don't sleep on Stellar. Wake up over there." Caught sleeping.
Was I sleeping?
Sleeping while he's sleeping.
Give Rue a break. He's a hard-working man, and I think between all three of us, we have a bad habit of staying up late and getting up early. So hey, at least give us credit on that. At least we don't stay up all night and sleeping all day type thing, right? Stay up late, get up early. My God, right?
Yeah, dude, I can do it. I can do a 17-hour day and sleep in the next morning for an hour longer than I normally do, and I'd have somebody making a comment somewhere saying, "Man, didn't you ever work? like, don't you ever, like, you're not putting out enough content." I'm sorry.
Well, as the saying goes, you can please some of the people some of the time, most of the people most of the time. You can't please all the people all the time, and you can't please that one person all of the time.
Yeah, true enough, man. See if we have any more questions before we kind of wrap things up. They push XRP like they push BTC and Ethereum. Is that why you want to buy it? No, I think most of us have done, like all three of us have done over the years, so many deep dives and research into XRP and stuff like that. That's so superficial of a reason to want to buy it.
Of course. I mean, especially that clip we just showed earlier. You guys saw where we mentioned, maybe you just tuned in, but for everybody else, where we mentioned derivatives, the gentleman, when we mentioned specifically the derivatives, come on, he's literally telling you the internet of value. He's literally saying, never before have we transacted with an actual internet protocol that will transfer a representative value on the internet like that. What's Ripple doing? Enabling the internet of value, right? Mm-hmm. And we talk about a shared unified ledger. To me personally, that involves two main things, right? It involves basically an internet of value, which Ripple does according to many documentations. And then, of course, you need trust. Like Quant Network, we are building the internet of trust. And I look into the documentations, it says shared unified ledger. I go back again to Quant documentation from the developer hub. Was it literally mentioned? A unified token layer. Come on, they're literally giving us the clues, but really most people won't get deep into all this stuff. But know this, you cannot put a real true value on the internet. And then when we talk about, people talk about Bitcoin, they say when Bitcoin originally started, it was designed in which nobody had control. What doesn't have control as we speak? The internet. There's still not really control on it. China and all these other countries and so on that claim they're going to control the internet, that's state run. Okay, that's different. But for the most part, the internet in itself is decentralized. That's the beauty of it. So again, think about the ones that came out of that. Now we're going back to Gilbert Verdi and what he talked about, where we're creating the original vision of the internet to be decentralized. But the difference now is to tokenize it. Anyway,
Yep. I want to
Have you
address this.
guys? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I wanted to address this question real quick. For Forda and Plume, Resi. Anyway, yeah, Forda and Plume are both gems that we dropped over on the Patreon over a year and a half ago. I am extremely bullish on both of those projects personally. Forda for security, I don't believe they have a ton of competition in terms of what they do. They have some, but not a ton. I really, really do like Forda. And of course, Plume, I mean, tokenization of RWAs. I am all in on Plume for sure. Metaphorically all in on Plume, not literally all in on Plume. But yes, I love both of those projects. What about you guys?
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know that I've heard of Forda. I do like Plume. Again, I had a underdog crypto or underdog researcher come on to the channel, and he did a very great deep dive on Plume. Definitely go check my live streams for that, guys. Um, yeah, but I have to do some research on Forda and see what I think about it.
I don't know Jack Diddley squat about Forda or Plume. I need to do more research on it. I don't BS if I don't know about it, so I don't have a real opinion. But from what little I've seen, um, it does seem like there's some potential there to say the least. But I'm not going to, give an educated response in regard to that.
So Max highly recommends you go buy both of those projects.
One thing,
Yeah.
one thing I will add though is that Plume does have a lot of its supply that's not, not released yet. That's the only thing that worries me a little bit.
Yeah. For me, Presley, I'm going to quote the famous scholar, gentleman and a scholar, Rule Black on this. It's not going to be one chain or one token. It's going to be a multi-chain future, in my opinion.
100.
He's blushing. I didn't know he could blush.
Am I the one that sees like a really faded, delayed?
Regardless of what you heard, black men can blush.
Maybe I'm lagging. I don't know.
Do you blush?
Oh man,
Rob, is he lagging real bad or what's
he's lagging bad? Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking I just tune into an old kung fu movie from the 1970s. It's like, you think I open a Chinese restaurant in the middle of the hood, don't know what's going on. Fuji's a score. Come on now.
Squid Games talk.
Had to throw that out, right? 30 years ago, Fuji's a score, man. Throw that out.
Yeah, we talked about AMP. I think last Thursday someone asked us about it. It's okay, but I have nothing against AMP. I just think that AMP really had a good run in 2021. Didn't really do much after the SEC went after it and named it in pretty much all of its lawsuits that it was a security, even though that's over now and it's done with. AMP kind of took a hit there along with everything else, and it never really recovered, right? So
that's the main thing. You're right. Like obviously Ripple's going to survive because it has the money behind it, right? But if you look at ones like Library Credits or AMP, and the damage has been done. But I mean, they could have a second way. Shout out to you, Rue. Dragon Chain. I mean, they survived it. Seems like they got some stuff still going. So there are ones that will survive.
And more on that one. Those two. What was it? Bank Social just announced something where they were Natcha partners. I thought that was very, very interesting. And AMP, with the Winklevoss twins and what they're doing with Gemini, you would think that it would do something eventually. It also has to do with payment, but it has been a dog for so long. So that one reminds me.
It reminds me of like Harmony One, right? Both of those projects did really well in the 2021 cycle, and then never. In terms of price appreciation, it never really kind of took the spotlight again. I mean, AMP had a crazy run in the 2021 cycle. They were popular. A lot of YouTubers were talking about them. They made a lot of people a lot of money, but since then it's been kind of radio silence in terms of price anyways. I mean, I don't know what they're doing in terms of partnerships and stuff like that. Could be doing good things. I'd have to look into it, but show me the money.
like Gemini over there, like they had like for one of the first, I think, XRP cards, but you almost forget that that exchange is over there when you got Kraken, Uphold, and Coinbase. So it's I don't know.
I did want to at least reply to DG3114. You boys are legends in respect to Will, the OG XRP Messiah. Thanks for the nice comment. We do appreciate it.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, do you have any closing thoughts? You know, I gotta wrap things up. We are out of time.
Yeah, I'll make it real quick. I saw somebody talk about Bank Social. I know you just gave your comment real quick, Rue. I just want to state this on recent bombshell on Maximus Crypto. I showed a bunch of stuff in a deep dive, and the big whopper of them all was literally the discovery of Bank Social. Right, literally at the bottom, like it would highlight Hedera, Ripple, a few others. It was a huge discovery. Like there's this another website called The Coincidence. It was something.io. Again, I cover so many things; it's hard to remember it all. And then we saw the clone site, which is like, what is this? And then right at the bottom, it was just like, and on the Bank Social platform, it was just like they showcased Bank Social. And so I was just like blown away with that because it's been a while since we talked about Bank Social. But check it out in the video section. I believe it's maybe 3 or 4 videos back. But yeah, I think I would show Quant and Hedera and XRP and all these other ones. And anyway, I don't highlight Bank Social because I want people to watch it. But I think people are sleeping on Bank Social again. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe on all channels. Oh, Shook in the house, dropping that super sticker. Whose channel is that?
Maximus Crypto. Well, thank you for that, Shook. That means a lot, man. Thank you so much, sir. Give Shook a follow, guys. He's got excellent deep dives. Hey, I'll say this.
Indeed.
Call to action real quick. If you guys love our deep dive content that us three provide, and you like that style, oh my gosh, you need to go follow Shook Focus Digital. All right, look 100. Up Shook Focus Digital. He's one of the most underrated crypto platforms out there, period. He's turned me, don't use this pause nonsense, okay? I'm not thinking any sixth thoughts. Rue, I know we're going to, you're going to say pause. So, turn me on to Dovu, as in I'm interested in it in that way, Rue. So, Dovu, because I'm very bullish on the Hedera ecosystem, and I think personally, Dovu has one of the best tokenomics there is out there. Seriously. Excellent tokenomics.
Shook, a staple over on Blockchain Buzz for sure. We got to get your book back in, by the way, Shook. So yes, subscribe to Shook's channel. Subscribe to Underdog Research channel. Follow ZBCN Man over on X. We've had a lot of content creators in the chat tonight. So thank you guys for coming out and supporting us. And like and subscribe our channel. Don't forget CoinVault, guys. Right?
Yes, don't forget it. I know Rob's got to go. I just want to read this last comment. Thank you so much again, Shook, for that super chat, by the way. Let's read this last comment from Tsunami, where he says, Portland, I swear to God, literally. Now, if you talk about the hat, you would be right. This is the Portland Diamond Project. It is an initiative to bring Major League Baseball to Portland, Oregon, which has been my dream since I was a little boy. So this is the Portland P. Rue, he's the D. And you're the new kid on the block about to get smacked back to the boondocks. Freaking non-researchers. Your fluff ain't our type, so take some real advice and form a group with Vanilla Ice. There you go.
Well played, sir. Well played. All right, guys. So that wraps up our Thursday night live stream. Like and subscribe as always. And listen, guys, if you like the deep dives, if you like, you want to learn how to trade, if you don't know how to trade, or you want to track down microcap gems, get in early on projects like XCN, Zebek, Canton. We've talked about a couple here, Plume, Forta. Get over to our Patreons, guys. The links are in the chats. Make sure you guys get over there. Join our communities of thousands of people today. We got live streams every single day over on my Patreon. We got open mic nights. I know, Rue, you're doing the same thing. Max, you're doing the same. So get over there for all the alpha guys. Don't miss it. Join the communities and supports the channel as well. Keeps the lights on and keeps us doing what we're doing. So hit the like, hit the subscribe. Anything else, boys?
No, that's about it. Go follow Shook Focus Digital. It's one of the
Shout
best
out
in
to
the
Shook.
game.
Yes,
Shout out to Shook.
indeed.
All right, guys. God bless.
God bless.
Peace.